Hi, everybody. It is August 8th, 2026. I hope you're all doing okay. And just say hello to Andrew Cruz. Hi, Rage Against the Machine. Thank you, Rage, for leaving a comment. Obese Tuna as well, leaving a comment. My comments were deleted. Don't know who did it. Uh, and apparently other people's comments were deleted. Kathleen, I do want to thank you for your comment that I did see, but who knows if it's still there. I did get an email from Revenge of Nature. They said they had nothing against my channel, that apparently my playing a few minutes of their videos uh, affects their monetization. Okay. YouTube has never allowed me to monetize, so I don't see how that. Well, okay. But they did say that they would lift the copyright strike August 23rd when they get their funds. So I guess their funds from monetization. And later I thought, if I'm not playing your videos, it doesn't affect your monetization now. So why can't you just lift it now? I don't know. I don't get it, but I was grateful to hear back because I finally put a comment on their channel again and said that if you're deleting my comments, could you just let me know one way or the other rather than delete them? And then soon after I did get that email. So, but I do want to thank those who left the comments. I appreciate it. So hi Tony and Jay Northrup and Chrissy and MCC and John KJ Adams. Yeah, YouTube is awful now. It's truly awful. And I'm going to try to do a live on Rumble, but I have very few subscribers on Rumble. If you want, the link to Rumble is underneath every video of mine. I'm going to try to do that, maybe even tomorrow, just to see. Rumble is pretty bad too now. Wow. Huh. Okay. Well, what is really it's so kind of telling about this whole trip that I've been on YouTube. Whenever I had a channel go down, especially, or even just a video go down and I couldn't post for a while, I would get so many emails from people. I would get calls from subscribers who had my number. Nothing. Zip. Until I posted my video, and I really do appreciate those who left the comment. But it's so like, wow, there's such a kind of a dead silence to my channels now, which is, it doesn't work for me, that's for sure. Obese Tuna, thank you for leaving your comment. Your comment, I believe, is still up, and Kathleen's is still up. But yeah, this is It's not fun living this at all. At all. Marsha. Patricia White. Dab Bog. Hi. Um, Amelia. Hello. I haven't seen you in a while. Hi. You never knew the Rumble thing was still a thing. It's a big thing. It's a big thing. But, so I guess you're not going to get a copyright. Are people hit with copyrights on Rumble? I don't know. So it's a shame because when I first started, man, it was great. It was truly great. And everybody was working with one another. Very little of the comments where they're just trashing you and so filled with hate, clearly. And yeah, so anyway, I hope you're all doing well. Let me I only checked 2 videos, Tony. I don't know about the other videos. But no, sorry, I didn't see your comments either. Yeah. So, oh, guess what? I forgot to bring up radar. All right. Well, we had a lot of flooding in the Northeast yesterday. What do we have here in Nebraska? It looks like a blob of precipitation that's just, spawning legs. Tennessee into Kentucky, that's not looking good. Alabama and Texas, Louisiana, Florida. Oh, Miss Blanche might not be having a dry time. I think this is Orlando area. All right, well, North Carolina again, Virginia, Ohio, and still more storms up north. This is quite a time we're living. That's for sure. Let's check out 9 active severe weather warnings for Arizona. Okay. Arizona. And you can see the frequencies, that where are these frequencies coming from? Are they coming from the nanobot? Because nanobots can emit frequencies. So Arizona, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Maine, and North Carolina, and Nebraska, and Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island. Okay. And you can check out the counties by looking at your screen. And I will drop the link in the chat. Hamden County, Massachusetts, Hampshire County. I'm saying that because I used to live there. Okay. So the link is in the chat to this alert page. And let's do weather-wise. Okay, flood warnings for Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Oh, how much fun. And you have in North Carolina and upstate South Carolina, sporadic damaging winds will be possible for the next couple of hours. And thunderstorms have been slowly intensifying along the Appalachians. Oh, like you need that, you guys in the Appalachians, Ohio and Pennsylvania. Thunderstorms may increase in coverage over the next couple of hours. Ohio into western Pennsylvania. Okay, everybody be very, very careful. The link is in the chat. You're in Springfield, so you're Hampshire County, right? I believe. Digna Ortiz. Okay. I didn't put the alert warning link in. Do be careful. This weather is really turning out to be just massively destructive every single day. Now, I'm a little nervous of playing these weather channels now. Never. I've years of doing this, years. And suddenly you get a copyright strike. But this is New Jersey. This is New Jersey. Lots of flooding in New Jersey. So I'm just going to, try to capture some good shots. Lots of flooding, cars into homes, into businesses. Wow. Okay, a lot of people have damaged cars and perhaps totaled. The damage is total. Streets, of course, blocked off. Oh, God, this is so tiring, man. It's really just... I kind of want to say unbelievable, but every year, New Year's Eve said the weather is only going to get worse. And sure enough, and 2026, what a year it has been, nonstop. And this is prolific storms cause flooding and lightning strikes in New Jersey, and a lightning strike, well, just happened to land on an apartment complex.
Now at 11, lightning sparks a huge fire in Westchester. Residents who had to scramble to safety. Plus, heavy rain leads to flash flooding in parts of the area. And one New Jersey town had to make dozens of rescues. Good evening to you. I'm Christine Johnson. We are finally catching our breath tonight after another round of severe weather moved through the tri-state area. And this evening, strong storms brought flooding rains, damaging winds, even hail. And while the threat of severe weather is over for tonight, we could see more storms over the weekend.
Okay, so more storms over the weekend. And look, this lightning strike just happened to get another apartment complex. And what does that mean? More people are displaced. I've never seen lightning hit so many homes, so many apartment complexes, people, and causing fires like this.
Officials in Austining say it was a lightning strike that caused this fire, and Addie Guajardo spoke with shocked residents.
Christine, firefighters are still putting out hotspots here at the Parth Knowles apartment complex. I spoke with neighbors who tell me there was a powerful storm in the area when the building caught fire. I also spoke with a resident who tells me she fears she lost nearly everything she owns. Flames engulfed this multifamily apartment complex as a powerful storm rolled through.
We heard a bam, big crash.
Catherine Constable says minutes later, her neighbor smelled smoke and she went outside. She says the fire only kept growing.
It was like a wildfire.
Fire officials say a lightning strike just after 7 p.m. ignited the 4-alarm fire at Parth Knowles apartment complex on Hawks Avenue in Ossining.
It's heartbreaking.
Debbie says she moved into the apartment complex when it opened 5 years ago and was out having dinner when she got a call that her building was on fire.
And when you arrived, what did you see? Flames shooting out. We're all in shock. It's shocking.
Maybe I'll have some things to save but there'll be a lot of water damage. They said the roof is totally gone.
A fire official tells me at this time no injuries have been reported.
Okay, that's good. But a whole lot are now without homes. This was in Westchester. And this is in Pennsylvania. And it's another Weather Channel. So let's just scroll on through. Right? Look at this flooding. This is really, it's heartbreaking when you realize how many people are without homes due to the fires, due to the flooding, due to lightning strikes hitting, apartment complexes, homes, due to tornadoes. You don't recover from this quickly. It takes years if you recover at all. And the numbers without a home are it's adding up every single day, adding up every day. Okay, so that's Pennsylvania. Now, Kim Iverson, her cousin lost his or her home in Spokane in the fires.
Have you guys been paying attention to the fires that have been raging?
Look at this. It reminds me of pretty much every fire in California. Santa Rosa, Paradise, Pacific Palisades. Trees, fine. We're not even seeing any dust in the streets. Well, unfortunately, the video that I was just about to mention was on neverlosetruth. Military document going through all of the different directed energy weapons that they have and how many of the weapons they're to scale, right? So the damage that they bring is literally precise. It's precise. So you don't see any they're like, the winds were so high. Why don't we see any, soot or something, scarred remains, something on the streets? We don't. All of the streets are clean, trees all around. And here we are with so many people who have lost their homes. Oh boy, having done this over and over again for 16 years, you guys having watched, it is so just very frustrating to see this happen over and over, and it's not going to stop. It will not stop.
Raging through the Pacific Northwest. Unfortunately, my cousin lost his home in Spokane, Washington. It is completely burned down to the ground. Like in this footage here of Spokane. I mean, it is just dire what is happening throughout really Washington and Oregon mostly. The smoke has been very much affecting us here in Boise.
I also want to say, these fires move really fast, right? Okay, so house fires do not to gut and bring to dust. And all you see now is the foundation of the home. Everything else has been obliterated and brought to dust, it would take a really long period of time to make this happen, and it still wouldn't happen. You would still see a whole lot left of the home, the inside, but every home like this, no. Please get everybody to start asking questions about these fires.
Completely burned down to the ground. Like in this footage here of Spokane, I mean, it is just dire what is happening throughout really Washington and Oregon mostly. The smoke has been very much affecting us here in Boise. We've been smoked out completely. It smells like a campfire outside. It's like a dense fog, just brown. It's better now. It's been better for the last several days, but to get the news that my cousin lost his family home in the fire is devastating. It is completely burned to the ground, like in these images here. Let me just show you the map of what's going on with these fires. Not only did my cousin's house burn down to the ground completely, but my family farm is also at risk right now. In fact, I believe that about 160 acres of what was my family farm is burning currently at the moment in Weiser, Idaho. That's where my family is from. Family has sold the farm. We don't have it anymore. We do still have some family out there with farmland, and we're very worried about them. But these are the fires that are raging through the western United States right now, and you can kind of see this. Here's a more close-up look of the Pacific Northwest. A lot of it is in Washington and Oregon. This is the fire. You can see the red is where the fire is creeping down. This is on Weiser, Idaho, and this is where my family is from, and where almost all of my family members are buried. And over there on the right-hand side, that fire that's creeping down is getting close to cemetery. I mean, the cemetery is right there. I mean, I don't know how much damage a fire is going to do over a cemetery, but still.
Okay, so the link is in the chat, and I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry to hear this, Kim. To all who have lost homes, I'm very sorry. And absolutely right. Cast iron, porcelain, gone to dust. Come on, folks. Enough of just ignoring what is patently obvious. And here there was another fire in LA County. Well, it was on very close to the 5 freeway. And if you know California, you know the 5 freeway is a very busy freeway, and it was shut down for hours. Now, any evacuation warnings that they had on this fire have been lifted, and I believe they have control over this fire, but they didn't last night.
30 south of Gorman and spread quickly. Thick clouds of smoke blanketing the area. Firefighters using aircraft to make water drops and drop lines of retardant. The flames moving rapidly downhill toward the northbound side of the 5 freeway, and then jumping over and charring more acres on the south side. This driver capturing the frightening scene.
Yeah, jumped over, and somehow, I guess the whole line jumped over.
And charring more acres on the south side. This driver capturing the frightening scene as the fire crept closer to the roadway. The danger forcing the CHP to shut down both sides of the busy interstate.
It was pretty scary still, even having seen them, we've seen the Ortega fires and all those. And when we were pulling in, we saw a multitude of fire right next to the freeway. When we were exiting, we felt like we were exiting right into it. You could see them all, trying to put it out right next to the freeway.
The 5 was closed for about 4 hours on the northbound side and 3 hours on the southbound, leaving traffic backed up for miles. Some drivers running out of gas, others watching their tanks empty as they moved slowly toward Gorman.
We had AC off and everything, windows down. So it's been pretty miserable for the last 4 hours.
Oh my God. I can't imagine having to sit in that for 4 hours. So that's the Ridge fire I was looking at. And Spokane shows what the new era of wildfires look like. What do you think? Climate change. It's the new era of wildfires. Okay, the new normal, new era. Betsy Robinson, apparently somebody who lives in Spokane, and she has a convention center, which she opened up with the Red Cross for an emergency shelter. And she has seen communities devastated by wildfires before, but never like this. Okay, then I guess you haven't seen the California fires. And she says the scale of homes destroyed and lives changed forever. This is a new level. No, this has been going on for years, Betsy, years. We are bracing ourselves for seasons like this, getting worse and worse, and starting earlier and going later. Excuse me, but not too far south, there's a place called Paradise, California. You want to talk scale of homes? Now, I think the number is still 900 plus that are, well, brought to dust in Spokane. In Paradise, it was like 12,000 homes. Santa Rosa, up there, you know. So I don't know what maybe Betsy is just completely ignorant of all of the fires that have happened before, but I've been trying to wrap my mind around how we're going to house all these folks. Many of the people displaced by the fires in Spokane are senior citizens and their caretakers. It's a miracle that nobody died or has been reported missing. I don't know what to do with when people say things like this. It's really pretty remarkable. And Wide Mouth 2 fire, this is in Utah, is still ablaze. 9 different wildfires burning in Utah. Okay, so Wide Mouth 2 fire in Millard County, 19% contained as of yesterday. And there is also Black Canyon fire, which is 0% contained. It's burned 2,000 acres. And they may, depending on where the fire is going, issue evacuation orders. Dodge fire, they don't know what the level of containment is. West Echo fire, which is burning west of the Echo Reservoir in Summit County. Little Horse fire is 50% contained. And then they have the Cottonwood fire, which fortunately is 95% contained. That took out a lot of houses. Babylon fire, 97% contained. Okay, that's good on Utah. I just don't know what to say about this rise in temperatures. So, BC, British Columbia, Canada. All right. Summerland. So many evacuations. Just wanted to see what the latest update. Interior Health opens call center for families of care home evacuees. Well, let's see. It happened so quickly. Summerland evacuee says, happened so quickly. We came home from the beach. We saw the plume of smoke. And then within an hour, the sky was covered in dark and black clouds. The situation was scary, but it was eerily calm because they had prepared and knew where to go. That's very, very important for flooding, tornadoes, whatever the event is, that you know where you're going to go. And you've got your bug out bag with the most important things, like your documents, your passport, medications. I think you all know what is the most important things for you guys. So, yeah, volunteers are feeding wildfire evacuees. Very nice. Forced to sleep in parking lot. There are so many evacuees. 20,000 plus. 22 people, 22,000 have been under evacuation order in BC. Ah, God. So this area is affecting 13,200 properties, 49 evacuation alerts in place. This British Columbia, not far from Washington. I can't play much of this, but I'm just going to play just a short little bit. This is what they're dealing with in British Columbia. Homes going up in flames. I will post the link, and it is in the chat. "90-year-old Okanagan man with dementia left behind." And thank God for people who help out.
When wildfire flames were closing in, one 90-year-old man with dementia was left behind.
I freaked out. I was panic-stricken.
Shiloh Belleville was in her Vancouver home when she learned her father John hadn't evacuated his Desert Cove home. She began calling anyone she could think for help, and eventually a complete stranger answered the call.
I didn't ask, I didn't hint, he just offered.
Bob Tudish says the decision was easy, but carrying it out proved difficult.
He was apprehensive. I mean, he doesn't know me. I mean, he's 90 years old. He's probably scared.
Bob finally convinced John to leave his home. They went to the Vernon Evacuation Reception Center, hoping to find John a secure place to stay.
And then when we got to the end of the lineup, we were told there was no place for him to stay.
An old family friend hosted John for the night, but it wasn't a long-term option.
And then Bob, he says, well, can you come down here? And I says, well, I don't drive. And he says, and just like that, well, I'll uncomplicate things. I'll bring them down for you.
I can tell you one thing, he doesn't like beef jerky. I stopped in hope to pick him up, just to grab some, get fuel and things. So I grabbed some beef jerky. Anyway, he tried, and he didn't like it. I said, well, spit it out the window.
John is now safely back with his daughter, and Bob Tudish is no longer a stranger. He has become a close friend.
Everything worked out, thank goodness.
Thank you for this miracle. Thank you for these kind people who came into our lives in a time of need.
Cohen Sassaman, Global News.
I love it. I love it.
Become.
Yes. You offer. You don't wait for people to ask. You offer. You extend yourself. And sometimes, yeah, you have to go out of your way, like this man did, who saved a man. 20,000 flee the BC wildfire.
No, I want to stay here for a little bit. I just want to make sure Grandma's okay, because it's I don't want her to be stuck and stranded in the middle of the night without, having some support.
Oh, the winds make all of the fires unpredictable, right? BC farmer watches as wildfire approaches his property, and I'm just going to post the link. even though this is the Weather Network, who the hell knows if Storyful is just going to pick up that and give you a copyright strike. Storyful is all over mainstream media. Serbia, let's add Serbia to the fires in Europe. So I have to check out France, I have to check out Spain, I have to check out Greece and Portugal, which I didn't do today, but I will, to see where those fires are. And if anybody knows, just drop a comment. But all of these reservoirs, all of these lakes are really losing water. What's going on? And this is not just in our country. Lake Mead, nation's largest reservoir, reaches its lowest water level on record. So we have been talking, for at least 15 years on the water crisis that will be coming, that we're going to be, facing, that we will have to pay through the nose to get some water. Our lives will drastically change, and it's here. The reservoir formed by the Hoover Dam and the Colorado River is located in Nevada and Arizona and supplies water to millions of U.S. residents. Oh boy, Lake Powell is really low as well. Colorado River Basin, critical system for residents in the western United States and Mexico. The basin provides water for up to 40 million people and hydropower to the 7 basin states: Arizona, California, Colorado, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming. Well, all I can say is just get ready for anything, because all agendas are really speeding up. And this man, Arkansas farmers, dying breed.
Across the country, farmers are struggling to keep their heads above water. Here in Arkansas's River Valley, that remains especially true. Thank you for sticking with us here at 9:30. I'm Josh Schwopinetta. Farmer after farmer closing up shop because there's simply no profit to be found. Fox 24's Gabriella Phelan spoke with a farmer who says he may be next.
In Arkansas's River Valley, farmers growing wheat, corn, and soybeans fuel America's grain industry.
This ground has been in my family that I'm farming for about 135 years.
Jeff Ray, a farmer in small town Lavaca, has seen this land yield and provide for his family for centuries. Now he says he's hardly breaking even.
They're tough right now. Our input costs keep continuing to rise, yet the price we get for these crops is continually going down.
Ray says farmers in this region fear they won't cash out this season and that they'll end up owing more than they did before this ground was tilled.
We're seeing generational farms go away that will not come back. You're seeing generational wealth disappear that will not come back.
A yearly study performed by the University of Arkansas's Division of Agriculture shows that corn and wheat have returned negative profits for the past several years. Ray tells us he decided to plant soybeans this year. Still, a March 2026 study returned results showing that farmers would still fail to profit after factoring in expenses.
It's demoralizing. I don't want to use the word depressing, but other farmers use it. It's happening before your very eyes right now.
Economists say political turmoil is adding to the farmers' uphill battle.
The war with Iran, the war between the Ukraine and Russia, has had a negative impact on energy costs, oil, natural gas, which means that anything associated with energy is more expensive for farmers.
Additionally, tariffs implemented by President Donald Trump are impacting exports to other countries, meaning Arkansas crop isn't getting purchased as frequently.
Some nations are, choosing to buy less American products just as a response to the tariffs that have been imposed on them.
With farmers continuing to pack up and walk away, Ray says the loss reaches far beyond the farm, threatening the future of American-grown food.
People that don't appreciate where your food supply comes from, they better start learning where it comes from. Because if we get to a point where we have to import the majority of our food, you will find out what you had and what we let go.
Well, maybe if we import, we could import from countries that don't do all of the poisons, all of the pesticides and herbicides and the Roundup, and wouldn't that be nice? But yeah, oh, Trump, he loves the farmers, and what has he done? And those tariffs, by the way, well, the other countries pay for the tariffs. Oh, I guess not. I guess not. It's not just Arkansas, it's all over. We are definitely looking at food shortages. Oh boy. And UK is looking at food shortages as well. A woman injured after a tire iron crashes through her windshield. Massachusetts highway. Why are so many very bizarre things hitting people when they're on highways or the interstate? You know, the last one that I showed was this huge tire that I guess fell off a truck and just crashed into this SUV. They were okay. This woman is not critical, but what's going on?
Breaking news tonight in Peabody, a woman seriously hurt after being hit by debris driving along I-95 north today in Peabody. State police say a tire iron actually went right through her windshield.
Investigators are telling us that her injuries were not life-threatening, but as WBZ's Paul Burton shows us, police are working to figure out right now how this happened.
17 in response to Route 95 northbound. Pole fell on the back of a truck, impaled passenger on the chest.
So this impaled her on the, I don't know, how big is the tire iron? Hey, I'm a New Yorker, okay? Well, we just called people to take care of our tires. So don't go there. But this is the tire iron that went through the windshield and impaled her in the chest? Wow. All righty. Okay. So, mega prophet. Oh my God. Oh God. God, please. If you come, and you better come, because this place is getting pretty wild. God will soon kill people I don't like. All right. You go, MAGA. You go, mega prophet. Kent Christmas hosted a July 26th revival at Ryman, at the historic Ryman Auditorium in Nashville, with a cast of characters that included mega prophet Hank Kunman and Flashpoint's Gene Bailey. Okay, Christmas prophesies, this is Kent Christmas, he prophesies that God is getting ready to kill a bunch of people. Wow. Well, I guess God is not that loving. I don't know. Purporting to be speaking on behalf of God. Woof. Arrogance. Let me see some arrogance. Jesus. Christmas said God is going to judge and purify the church, including every woke preacher, every seeker-friendly preacher? What's a seeker-friendly preacher? I don't know, but God's going to kill them. And every church that kicked me out and stuck the Holy Ghost in the back room and was ashamed of speaking in tongues and praising the Lord. Woo! You go, man. Wow. Love it when people speak for God. As if. But hey, delusion, it sure does carry the day. God is preparing to massacre wicked people. Oof. The piece goes on to recount the many times MAGA church leader Kent Christmas has declared that God will soon kill everyone he doesn't like. So is that like, your list to Santa Claus? You make a list to God. These are all the people that I don't like. He last appeared in January 2025 when he declared that God will kill Joe Biden for giving the Medal of Freedom to George Soros. Well, I guess that didn't happen. Oh, but don't worry, it's going to happen. It's coming about sometime. September 21, he revealed that God was about to murder the leaders of every country in the world. July 21, he prophesied that God was about to murder every non-Christian in the world. Man, these people are really fun to be around. I will post the link. You can listen to this seriously deranged, quote-unquote, prophet. Link is, it was too long. So you can go to Twitter and go to Right Wing Watch, and oh God, why do we have so many deranged people? Why? All right, I think there's a video here. Nope. Okay. Well, okay, whatever you say, Ken. Now, Water Utilities Group partners with DEF CON offshoot for Water Watch Center. So they're also claiming, having to do with water, that Iran is targeting an awful lot of one second, I want to wait. Okay. Water utilities. Sorry, my neighbor just came home. So, but they're providing a service, and these water utilities will buy the service that the taxpayers in these states, in these local areas, will have to pay for to protect themselves from cyber attacks. Okay, decades, plural. We have had so many people warning of cyber attacks. We've done nothing at all to harden our utilities against cyber attacks. Nothing. Yeah. Our incredible Franklin volunteers will support the effort to keep costs down for cash-strapped utilities, fending off adversaries like the Iranian Red Guard or the Chinese military. How about Russia? Russia, those communists. Okay. Husband and wife dead. Tragic murder-suicide. I'm telling you, this is on the rise. This is Franklin County. I believe this is North Carolina.
To Franklin County, police have confirmed a husband shot and killed his wife in a murder-suicide this morning.
Sky 5 over the scene here. This is the 100 block of Sunlight Cove. You see the police tape off. They've cordoned off the home there in the Lake Royale community. WRL Sean Gallagher live at the scene. Sean, obviously a shocking thing for neighbors to learn. What more have we discovered about what happened there?
Dan, investigators have been out here since 9:30 this morning, and you can see here behind me, they are still out here investigating, focusing on a house that's about 4 down, maybe 5 down from where we're standing, a tent in the side yard where this investigation is focused. We are waiting for them to release the names of the victims, but we're told these two had a child under 10 years old who was apparently inside and heard the gunshots early this morning. It was around midnight when those shots went off, according to police. They say neighbors described it as hearing a car door slamming loudly. Now, law enforcement wasn't called to this scene until around 9:30 this morning. When they arrived, they found the husband sitting in a chair in the driveway, which a nearby neighbor found strange when he was out on his run this morning.
But what stood out to me, though, is the fact that a man was sitting in the driveway at 5 o'clock in the morning, and he hadn't moved the entire time.
We're going to see more and more of this, more and more, especially with our fabulous economy. And Stevens County, I'm sorry, this should have been with the fires, but this is another Washington fire that has also taken out homes.
Yeah, Mark, that's right. We're here in Stevens County, and in this neighborhood, you can see glances of the families and the homes that grew here over time. Behind me, you can see not one, but 4 cars just in that front section alone.
The grass is fine. You have a lot of leaves that should have gone up in a heartbeat. All 4, okay, gutted. It's so hot that they vaporized the windshield, the car windows. Somehow, it also got this structure, which is a house, I guess, behind the cars. Trees, come on. Oh, God, it's so frustrating. And this guy just, he's out walking his dog, walking along the road, looking at all of the homes that are gone. Never gone. This looks like a plastic thing, and, well, gutted this whole structure. Gotta wonder where these fires are coming from. Now, all of the animal videos that I'm showing have a really good ending, okay? But I just want to play a couple. Don't separate us. I want to say to anybody that doesn't really care and they separate dogs, cats, don't do it. They're family with one another, breaking them up is really putting them in a lot of emotional pain. What are you talking about emotional pain? Dogs can't feel. No, yes, they can. Yes, sentient beings right here.
Hoćeš molim te samo da mi otvoriš vrata od transportera?
Okay, so you see, I will post the link to this. This is Pets in Love. And what happens? Here they are. and they're still together. And oh God, if I write out a list of all of the people that I want you to kill, could you kill all of the people who abuse animals and leave all of those who love animals and cherish them? Please, please. I posted the link. You can watch the entire video. But yeah, happy, happy, and still together, which, okay, transformed, but together. And this is also another incredible story. Given poison every day until he couldn't stand. Fuck. Oh, God, man. I don't get people. Ibuprofen. Stop. And he also had mange. So the rescuers were able to get the people to release ownership of this dog. Why do people have a dog if this is what they do to them? God. Why? Well, here he is. Here he is. Doing very well and happy. That's very cool. There's Pedro. How cute. How incredibly cute. So Christy says, put the owner in prison. Because I see so many on Twitter, on YouTube, and I've lived it. I no. You're either in prison for the rest of your life or you get the death penalty. I'm tired of it. I am so done with these psychopaths. You know, and there are indigenous communities where if they sense that one of their tribe has psychopathic tendencies, they kill them. And this one is also, okay. You would think that people would just walk away. Thank God people don't walk away and really just throw themselves into the mess to help the animal. So somebody's walking along in their backyard and sees this. They thought somebody was throwing out tires or something. Nope, they weren't throwing out tires. That's sweetheart.
Good girl. Good girl.
Easy. Easy.
We got double trouble,
Now, I actually on Twitter, I left a comment underneath one of these cruelty tweets, and I just said that these people need to experience exactly what they do to the animal. They need to experience it. So put that guy in a very, very, very small cage, let him shit and piss all over, and he can lie there, and let him lie there for a while and then kill him. Then the death penalty. I want these people gone. I don't want them sitting in jail. I want them gone. I so want them gone so that we can live the kind of life that we deserve. We deserve to have joy, to trust one another, to see animals that are well taken care of. Right? And here, another dog thrown into a garbage.
We're driving a garbage truck, and suddenly you look in the camera and see this little fella.
What was your reaction when you looked at the camera and you saw something moving?
Oh, I was like, you know, when you see something like that, it's like, man, I got to call somebody.
Gabriel Wiley here has been driving a WM truck around Houston for 7 years now, but he says he had never just found a dog walking around inside before.
Look at this here. Wow.
This happened a few months ago in early June when Gabriel had just dumped an 8-foot-tall trash container into what is called the truck's hopper. With a can that tall, Gabriel feels that could only mean
he's not able to jump in the trash can. Somebody actually put him in the trash.
Well, thank God for you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's saying the same thing.
Gabriel immediately made some calls, and the local SPCA came to rescue this little guy. He immediately brought him home to live with him and Zanetta, his wife of 27 years.
This is Hopper, you guys.
Gabriel named him Hopper after the part of the truck where he was first found. And he's getting plenty of attention from Gabriel's grandkids. I called this video Spider-Man Brand New Dog.
Come here.
Very cool. I love it. I love seeing people who are obviously caring and loving people. Permanent solutions. I'm with you, Granny. I am with you. I've seen this my entire life, 67 years. Come on. We have such lax animal cruelty laws in our country, and that we got to stop. Yeah. I would love to see all of these people gotten rid of. So I got this. All right. I clicked on an article. And what the hell? Notice of your privacy rights in Tennessee. So what is this about? Because you're coming from a location, Tennessee, covered by a privacy law. Many of the features of triblive.com, like videos and social media elements, are disabled. If you wish to proceed to the site under those conditions, doing so will effectively opt you out of the sale of your personal data. Okay, this is the most bizarre, I don't know, paywall or I've never seen this before. Click here to agree to experience the full features of Trib Live and to opt in to the use of your personal data. This was just a news publication, an online news publication. Has anybody come across anything like this? Okay, so confirmed, okay, a man that should never have even been nominated, but it's Trump, but he certainly should not have been confirmed. Todd Blanche is the Attorney General. Confirmed. Confirmed. Trump's personal attorney. The attorney, that was negotiating the deal with the IRS and coming out with this, what was it, 1.8 billion fund, slush fund, to pay to those who support Trump, and the IRS would forego auditing Trump family, and Trump organizations. This is the guy that was confirmed. Okay, I'm sorry, but it's clear that those in Congress and those in the White House, those in Washington, D.C., do not work for the American people, and they could give a shit about the Constitution and the government and everything. Wow, man. He's deeply honored by the trust and confidence Trump has placed in him. This country literally sickens me today. And wow, a lot of people are saying, I'm one of the greatest presidents ever. To hear this from a president, every American should realize that he is so overtly narcissistic, and that's not good to have personality disordered presidents.
If Democrats do take over the House, it's just going to be investigation mania. They're going to do oversight. They could impeach you again. I mean, do you think they will?
Well, a lot of people are saying I'm one of the greatest presidents ever.
They're not saying that, though.
But they know, they see the results. Look, we have right now more money being invested in the United States than at any time in history, more money than any country has ever had being invested. We're at numbers that we're building more factories, plants, and not just
everything he says is a lie, okay? It's a lie.
About AI, yes, but auto plants of all kinds. Toyota just announced they're coming in with the largest plant anywhere in the world. They're leaving Mexico. They're leaving Canada. People are leaving, the car companies are leaving Germany. They're leaving Japan. They're all coming here because of tariffs, because of my very smart use of tariffs, because
But will they impeach you, do you think? They'll be.
It's hard to believe they could, but
they'll be all over you. They'll be subpoenaed.
It's a very unfair thing. Yeah, it's a very unfair thing. When I was president and I made the statement a lot about Hillary Clinton, they wanted to impeach her, they wanted to destroy her. And I said, you just can't do that. And then I get in there and they tried to do the same thing.
I'm sorry. Wait a second. Didn't you? What was that phrase? Lock her up. Lock her up. Lock her up. I wouldn't do that though. Yeah, because he's a bullshit artist, and people believe him. So his first term, he was campaigning on lock her up, lock her up, lock her up. Hillary should be in jail. Lock her up. He wins. And the first interview that he gave was Leslie Stahl, 60 Minutes. And he said, well, she's actually a nice lady. And, so we're not going to do that. Why is it? How is it that when people lie repeatedly, that people don't get that they're not trustworthy? Instead, you have people believing the chronic liars. That is something that I will never understand, ever.
With me, they were vicious. So I guess they might be.
Are they more vicious than Republicans?
I think the Republicans are too nice, actually. I think the Republicans are much nicer. I think the Republicans are much more gentle than the Democrats. I think the problem with the Democrats, they have bad policy. They're smart, they're vicious, but they have really bad policy. Open borders, let the whole world come into our country, let prisons be emptied out into our country. The transgender mutilization of your children, that's fine with them. All of these things that they have men playing in women's sports, they want men playing. They have horrible policy. They love crypto. They love AI, but they don't like it if I'm involved in it, because if I'm involved as president, look.
It doesn't matter what he says, okay? But that whole thing, and I have revisited the whole Democrat Biden nightmare, the open borders, the surge of all of these migrants. Yeah, the suddenly, transing all of these kids. That was all part of the agenda. That was all part of the agenda. You bring it so far to the extreme, and you're going to get an extreme response. And then Trump comes in, and everybody is really happy with his extreme response. So what I would like to just get back to, let's get back to 1980, in the 70s, or well, that means I'm still with my mother. All right. Before the internet, before all of this, but we still have the knowledge of what we've lived, and that way we can prevent having to live this time. And here, Stephen Miller just gave an on-air masterclass on why the GOP is the party of Trump. This is Benny Johnson, who lies repeatedly. The MAGA influencer. Wow.
Where do I even begin with this? So let's start here. Nobody has done more to rebuild and save the Republican Party than Donald Trump since Abraham Lincoln himself.
Wow.
President Trump inherited a broken shell, a hollowed out husk of a political party after the Bush years, after the Ryan years, after the sellout years, and he turned it into the working class party, the middle class party. And he took states that had been blue forever. He took the blue wall. He took states like Wisconsin, states like Ohio, states like Pennsylvania. He pulverized that blue wall. How many Senate races have we seen where President Trump won a state by 8 points, 9 points?
And why? Because the Democrats went to the extreme. Now, we know that these people are selected, but maybe they do the elections just to see, all right, so we know that we got Wisconsin, we got a blue state. Everything is a show. Everything is a show. It's just a show, and how terrific Trump is because he saved the Republican Party. There are so many Republicans now that are, some are gently backing away from Trump. Some are not so gentle, and yeah, they are backing away. Here, and I wrote, you and Miller, Benny Johnson and Miller, are living in another universe. Reality will never come to you because you won't be able to face the lies you tell. You will just keep telling the lies, hurting many in the process. Trump is brilliant. Trump, it was only Lincoln, and so compare him to Lincoln, President Lincoln. Oh my God. Ah. Trump is now the greatest since Abraham Lincoln. You guys really do live in your own world that has completely rejected reality. Ah, and listen to this. Man, oh man, Tim Scott. Whoa, Tim, where, what, how is it? I don't know. I do not. Okay, these people, they're blatantly lying. They are so blatantly lying outrageously. They must be getting a whole lot of money to spew out these lies.
About President Trump, let's remind ourselves President Trump has done something no other president in the history of our country said yes to, which is complying to the ethics, strategy, and standard for all elected officials. We've never had a president ever say yes to that issue, that question. So it's good news. We're making progress there. About President Trump, let's remind ourselves President Trump has done something no other president in the history of our country said yes to, which is complying to the ethics, strategy, and standard for
Trump complies with the ethics standards. Tim, are you kidding? I wrote, whoa, what the hell are we living here? Tim Scott could actually say that about a corrupt to the bone, chronic, outrageous liar who steals and kills innocent people. This is hell. We are living in hell. We are. Okay, Tim. Yeah. How much money are you getting? Because you sure as hell don't believe that. Or somebody injected you with massive Trump derangement syndrome. And here, listen to this, because the people who are most vulnerable, the people who are in need of help, they're being gutted. They are not getting the help. And we're in big trouble, okay? Malignant. Don't forget the malignant part of the narcissism. They are evil. Malignant narcissists are evil. And frankly, they like to create suffering.
For this one, I'm serious, and you need to grab a Trump supporter. And listen to this. Trump is seeking to pay for his new $1.5 trillion military budget by cutting the following: $510 million grants for farmers, $82 million loans for rural small businesses, fully eliminates that program. $61 million support for farmers, fully eliminated. $240 million school meal and food education. $659 million community building grants. $49 million support for minority-owned businesses, fully eliminated. $449 million economic development grants for communities. $1.6 billion weather forecasting, fisheries, and coastal protection. NOAA, the program they already cut, which has led to a shit ton of people dying over these weather events. $993 million scientific research and technology standards. $150 million support for American exports and trade. $2.2 billion broadband internet access in rural areas where farmers are and underprivileged people are, and they don't have access to the internet. $8.5 billion funding for public schools at a time when all our tax dollars are going to these goddamn voucher programs to rich kids. $1.5 billion vocational training programs fully eliminated. Training that's needed because everybody's losing their jobs over AI. $2.7 billion college access and higher education support. $15.2 billion roads, bridges, and infrastructure projects. Contractors who own businesses, if you voted for Trump, this means you getting less money awarded for bids. You're not going to get them. $1.1 billion home energy efficiency and clean energy programs fully eliminated at a time when fuel prices are skyrocketing. $1.1 billion scientific research funding. We're going backwards. $386 million environmental cleanup programs. Look at the environmental disasters we're doing overseas, bombing all these oil refineries. $150 million cutting edge clean energy research. $4 billion help paying home heating and cooling bills for low income families. Fully eliminated. $5 billion, public health programs, mental health services, and disease prevention. Look at how many people died already with the recent listeria outbreak. $775 million, local anti-poverty programs fully eliminated. $5 billion, medical research. Think of all the people with cancer waiting for the next treatment that can save their lives. $129 million, healthcare quality and safety research. $756 million, emergency preparedness and disaster response. $1.3 billion, FEMA community disaster preparedness grants. $707 million cybersecurity protection for critical infrastructure that's going to be targeted by foreign adversaries because we're waging this war.
Or not foreign. How about domestic? Domestic.
$2 million airport and transportation security. $40 million protection against chemical and biological warfare threats, again at a time we're waging war. $53 million funding for homeland security operations. $3.3 billion community development block grants for local neighborhoods fully eliminated. $1.3 billion affordable housing construction grants fully eliminated. I thought this fucking administration was about affordable housing. And if you're a contractor that already was awarded grants to build affordable housing, you're screwed. How many of you support?
Greatest president ever. The economy is the best ever. More Americans are working than ever before. And I just, what? Manager, they clearly said ethic, but you paraphrased it as ethnic. Seriously? Are you seriously? What? I made a mistake? Sorry. Scott Besson, listen to this. They're lying all over. This entire administration is just one big lie. Scott Besson, Treasury Secretary, just declared the K-shaped economy is over, saying he's sick of hearing about it. Scott Besson, God, wow, has some good news for the consumers, for Americans. K-shaped economy, meaning that those 90% on the bottom are, well, certainly 80% are really struggling. And the top, 10% are doing fabulously. Well, he says all of that, the gap is over. We don't have a gap. Apparently, we don't have a gap anymore. Really? Okay, Scott. Whoa. Oh God, the only problem is the data is not going along with Besson's feelings. Treasury Secretary said that he is sick of hearing about this K-shaped economy. I can say here definitively The K-shaped economy is over. There's no gap anymore. It's the golden era for everybody, apparently. Besson said, U.S. households are in a C-shaped economy where the lower end of wage earners are finally calling it back, just like they did in Trump's first term. So the lower end of the wage earners are doing very well, according to Besson. Besson said the bottom 25% of workers have seen a 2% real wage gain. Even if that were true, it still wouldn't help out with everything. You know, the skyrocketing prices of everything. Treasury Secretary also pointed to White House policy under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, such as no taxes on tips or overtime, as well as reduced taxes for seniors on Social Security. Well, if you look into that, there's a lot of the taxes on tips. I'm not sure exactly. I can't remember now. It was months ago. But listening to people who were being taxed on tips were like, excuse me, we were supposed to not be taxed on tips. And there they were being taxed on tips if it's over a certain amount or something. I can't remember. But it's not clean cut. Neither is the overtime. And wow, man. And the big increase, right? The bill promised to increase tipped and overtime workers' take-home pay by $1,500. Gee, that'll do a lot. That'll do an awful lot. So, when you listen to everybody in the Trump administration, their outrageous lies really need to be beat back. They need a whole lot of Americans screaming, "You lying sack of shit, this is not happening." And otherwise, the people who are doing okay listen to this and think, okay, things are okay. And even those at the bottom tier are doing okay now. It's a C-shaped economy. Oh my God. Well, this man is absolutely right. Absolutely right. This is Yak Motley. I will post the link. I recommend subscribing to Yak. And the link is in the chat.
We are living in the dumbest timeline that never seems to end.
Yep. So it's getting weirder. We got to watch these videos. This is insane. I feel like I'm in the middle of the book 1984, and everybody is noticing. I've made multiple videos where people are noticing. In these clips, I'm going to prove my point. Let's go.
Well, nothing says honesty like taking the fifth, huh, Doc? Let's try something. What day of the week is it today?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color's the carpet in front of you?
Counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very well know. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt.
Look, I got to say this, and I got to say I don't agree with what's going on.
What are we doing? Like, seriously, what actually are we doing?
I mean, this proves my point right here. This proves my point. That's where we're at. I just watched our county commission gaslight everybody about this is the future and we need to just take it, because they have twisted the Constitution around to where since it's in public that they're allowed to do it because there's no expectation of privacy in public. But where is the threshold to where the entire point of the Constitution was to protect us from the government, and now the government is writing contracts to use public property and things that happen in public against us and sell it to a third-party entity? That is what politicians do not understand, and they're the ones with the law degrees. It's insane.
Major unpopular opinion. If both parents have to work 40 freaking hours a week just to try to live a normal life, the system's not working.
Yeah, we went from...
And I just listened to a man who was talking about having... He got the amount of money that daycare was going to charge him $3,000 a month to take care of one or two children. $3,000 a month. We don't support families. We don't support anything. Nada. Nothing at all. We don't support one another. We don't support... well, we're not doing anything about the corruption that is so in our face every single day. So, holy shit. But silent walk, the voluntary paying of taxes. Well, there might be a lot of videos saying that, but it doesn't matter when you have the IRS coming after you. Good luck. Hey, it's voluntary. So I don't want to volunteer my money to you. Well, unfortunately, that doesn't get people very far. Unless everybody did it, right? And wow, these companies are really taking over. And when you think about what these companies are doing, think about TPP, Trans-Pacific Partnership, that Trump in his first term got us out of. Yay, 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 yay. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Corporations rule. Have you noticed? Have you noticed how deeply fascist our country is? And even governments have no say over these fabulous corporations, especially when it comes to AI. Amazon secretly circumvents community vote. This was in Gilroy, California, and locked out. Gilroy residents locked out of public comment. Yeah. Well, all of my highlighting came off. They were locked out. And Bozo. I think that's the mayor's name. Bozo? Okay. Is it the mayor? All of my highlighting came off. Community of Gilroy, California, 30 miles southwest of San Jose. Surprised when an Amazon data center started construction in their town last month. They used local zoning rules that were set 45 years ago. And they did it without the residents' knowledge or hearing from them. So Amazon's Gilroy project sits on a 56-acre piece of farmland between a Walmart supercenter and Gilroy Premium Outlets. Okay, so the Roger Werner, Amazon Web Services Vice President, Economic Development, told the Wall Street Journal that the site had gone through a long approval process which required public notices and public comment periods. However, when Gilroy resident Rosa Rodriguez wanted to state her concern about the damage a data center can do to a region suffering from drought, she was told that the comment period had already lapsed in 2024. Wow. Gilroy City Mayor Greg Bozo. Okay. All right. And this is what he says to the residents. Listen to what he says. It's amazing. He's taking an attitude. The residents, they're upset about this. It didn't bother them that a food distribution center came to Gilroy without their engagement. But now it bothers them that the data center is coming. Big difference, Bozo. Big difference. I don't understand how people get away with saying what they say. I mean, it's such a slap in the face because the residents know what they're up against. Their property value devalued, water, electricity, wells, noise, food distribution centers don't really match up to the data centers. And listen to this, a resident, this was in, I can't remember where, but listen to what these council people say.
Have you personally signed any?
Sorry.
Have you personally signed any NDA, any agreement, or had any private communication, such as meetings, phone calls, text messages, or emails, with any developer, company, landowner, or representative regarding any current or potential project that could affect Tyrone Township? Chris Robetta.
No.
Dean?
No.
Jennifer?
I'm not answering your question. This is not the time or place.
I can ask you whatever I want. Don't tell me what I can say.
We don't have to answer that.
But you're communicating with me, Jennifer. I didn't think you were supposed to do that. Greg Carnes, how about you? Yes or no?
Not the place. We've already discussed this. So
Who's already discussed it? I'm sorry? Who's already discussed it?
been discussed.
Who has? Who's discussed it? I've not discussed this with you. What are you saying? Pam Loeffler? Yes or no?
They work for you.
We work for us.
That's right. Herman Ferguson? Won't answer. Zach Tucker?
Mike, stop. You say
Excuse
guilty
me.
one more time, you're out. I'm not tolerating.
Have you personally signed any?
I'm not tolerating it. So they can't ask if they've signed an NDA. You can't ask. These people work for the people who are sitting in the uncomfortable chairs. Oh, we got to take back our power and stop being treated like we're nothing when people are sitting in the comfortable chairs, looking down upon the peons. And here, Weld County officials told an AI company to stop construction on a new data center three times. And they don't. Okay. They repeatedly issued stop work orders against Global AI, which purchased a 438-acre former Kodak facility near Windsor. And this, I believe, is in Colorado. They're planning on a 41-acre data center on this property. And the county posted the orders on May 7th, June 11th, and then another time. Okay, but they didn't stop. This is a very interesting article, which I will link to, and you'll see how these companies, Global AI, they don't give a shit, okay? They just do whatever the hell they want to do. Why? How? Because corporations rule. The sovereignty, remember that, of the TPP? Everybody was up in arms about the Trans-Pacific Partnership, that it would literally hand over sovereignty to corporations, it's here. Doesn't matter what Trump says. So the zoning applications were reviewed, and county enforcement actions also found gaps in estimated power and water use and supply. It's not clear what customers the global AI data center would serve either. The lack of public communication from the company has also exacerbated the fierce debate over data centers. So you can read the details of every, step of the way, and global AI, well, so we were told we had to get permits, but forget about the permits. You're supposed to meet requirements in terms of, telling them exactly how much electricity and water will be used. What about the noise? To hell with it. We'll just keep building it, not meeting the requirements. Will they be able to get this stopped? They should be able to. But does global AI have far more power than local government? I guess we'll soon find out. Salem. This was in Oregon. Somebody brought a guillotine to oppose new data center, and the company reps left, feeling unsafe. Okay. It wasn't a poster. It wasn't a picture. It was the real thing. So, an actual guillotine structure appeared at the protest outside Luke's auditorium, where hundreds of residents had gathered to oppose a proposed multi-billion-dollar AI data center. That detail hasn't appeared. The guillotine hasn't appeared in news coverage, but what did make it into news coverage is good on, you see all of these people, no to the data center. So their city council voted unanimously to direct staff to begin developing a moratorium on data center development. That's the way it should go. Because these people rule, not the city council, not the town councils. And we are going to see a huge, now we already, I think the bots on the internet, there are more bots than humans. Soon enough, it's going to be 1,000 times more. 1,000 times more traffic with bots than humans. Everything is just artificial, superficial, meaningless. Flock is losing dozens of contracts. Good. A whole lot of cities are not renewing their contracts with Flock. Some who don't renew are actually picking up on other surveillance, like Axon. But at least 54 cities across the U.S. have voted to cancel, non-renew, or reject Flock's automatic license plate reader. 30 cities had done the same since 2025. Well, we need more and more cities. In fact, I did see a news show where, and I can't remember where it was, but people were taking down the Flock cameras. One had a truck and just ran right into the Flock camera. Another one cut the wires and cut it down. And the sheriff in that town said, okay, I won't renew with Flock. So They are making headway, but the surveillance, man, there's so much surveillance in our country. Here, a woman pulled from a car. How many times have we seen this? Now, this is a woman pulled from her car by the police. The police had their guns on her, and the police thought that they were pulling over a murder suspect. Well, Flock made a mistake. This would be so traumatizing.
Just hip check me.
Unrelated. Award-winning in-depth journalism. The Fox 6.
This is a commercial.
The interstate as guns are drawn on a woman near Brookfield. Brookfield police say they thought they were pulling over a murder suspect yesterday.
Turns out it was a mistake by another department with the Flock license plate reader technology. Ben Hansen spoke with the woman seen on video who says this isn't the first time this happened to her this week.
Like, where can we go? Like, it was just a whole lot. Like,
Amber Newell is still shaken up from Thursday.
I haven't been asleep since this happened. Every time I close my eyes, all I can see is guns.
When Brookfield police surrounded her car on I-94, drew their guns, and told her to come out with her hands up.
My mom is like my go-to person. I wanted to call her so bad yesterday, but I'm like, if something moves, it's going to be over. It's going to end my life.
Friday, we learned Newell did nothing wrong.
It was very embarrassing because after they put us in cuffs, they walked us to the car. I'm not knowing what's going on. I'm scared. All you see is people in their cars recording.
Milwaukee police say they accidentally didn't remove the alert previously placed on her vehicle in the Flock camera system. At one point, the vehicle was suspected of being tied to a homicide. Eventually, Milwaukee police were no longer interested in the vehicle, but the department didn't cancel that alert. So when Brookfield police saw the vehicle on a Flock camera, they responded. Brookfield's chief says his officers did nothing wrong.
The only thing they said was, you contact Milwaukee Police Department, it's their fault. That's all they kept saying was, it's their fault. It's not our fault, it's their fault.
MPD declined an interview. Newell says last Monday, the same thing happened when Milwaukee police pulled her over with guns drawn. She says officers never explained why, towed her car, and let her go. Newell says she's still scared to drive her car, and her daughter is too.
My daughter keep asking, Mama, is the police gonna get us? She don't want to ride in the car no more because she don't know if the police gonna pull us over and do it again.
Now, she's hoping for an explanation and an apology.
I'm really mad at Milwaukee MPD because y'all failed. Y'all failed the system. Y'all failed me. Y'all failed everybody. Like, y'all, I'm traumatized now.
In Milwaukee, Ben Hansen.
Sorry. I would think that that's pretty traumatizing, and it happened twice. It's been happening to so many people who are completely and utterly innocent. Flock cameras, how about get rid of them? This is really... Too many people have been hurt by this. And by the way, people lose their jobs. You know, they have people who look at them very strangely, you know, when they've been arrested for something that they did not do. Here, Chandler drops Flock license plate reader cameras after audit flags potential misuse. So, good on these sheriff departments. City of Chandler, which I believe is also... Maybe it's, I don't know. Why can't these, I'd like, whatever KTAR is, could be Arkansas, I don't know. But Chief Brian Chapman. So they found in an audit that there is potential for misuse of Flock, and they decided not to renew, and also immediately restricted all the police personnel from accessing the system. When you have police accessing a system that they are misusing, you know, and they're stalking women, this is not a good system. Don't we know it? Flock cameras found damaged across central Florida.
And you can see this pole in front of me. It was a flock camera once, and it's now the center of a viral video that shows the flock camera apparently cut down and damaged. Now, we spoke to the man who took that video about what he saw.
I'm pulling in. The pole was in the street.
Roberto Sabatino says this video he recorded has been seen almost 1 million times.
And it's up to 980,000 views.
In the video, you can see the flock camera cut down and lying on the grass with a Port Orange officer parked nearby.
The pole is very recognizable if you pay attention to flock at all. You know, it has that solar panel on it. So when I drove past it, I was like, oh, someone cut a flock down, because I know flocks have been getting cut down.
And they have been. News 6 has been tracking incidents of flock cameras being damaged. In Volusia County, according to this report, on July 20th, deputies investigated a flock camera damaged at Bill Keller Park. 2 days later, July 22nd, a license plate reader in Osteen went offline. Investigators located and observed the camera to be destroyed with what appeared to be a blunt object of some sort, as there were pieces of the camera on the ground. In Lake County on July 31st, Claremont police, quote, determined that 2 flock camera poles had been intentionally cut in half, causing significant damage to the camera system. The estimated loss is approximately $10,000. The cameras that record the tag number of every vehicle and store it in a database continue to spark debate.
You know, everybody has their own point of view when it comes to that.
2 weeks ago, Sumter County Sheriff suspended the use of flock after a detective was fired for using flock to spy on her husband's ex. We are still waiting to hear from the Port Orange Police Department about this latest incident.
Ay. Well, I just wish that we could just do away with flock. But hats off to all of you who are taking down flock. Good. Because there are areas that, because of the number of flock cameras that are being taken down by residents, that it gets to be very, very expensive. So they just do away, they don't renew their contracts with flock. Does that mean that we're not going to be having a surveillance state and we should celebrate? What do you think? No. All right, so let us go back to radar and check out what's happening. Alrighty. Well, this is a strange happening here. Illinois into Iowa. What, pray tell? We got frequencies and the curving of what, I don't know, appears to be a very thin plasma line. Ohio, Pennsylvania again, Massachusetts, whipping right on through. Wow. From one end to the other end of Massachusetts in a 3-hour loop, boom, gone. And Western New York, Eastern New York, North Carolina, and Tennessee, and Alabama, Panhandle, Florida, and Florida. Yeah, here's your Legos. Yeah. That's not what we ever saw. But now we see it all the time. And I wish I could say weather modification playlist on this channel, but I can't. I can't. So it's hard. It's very hard when you lose all of your work. It's very hard to deal with. Arizona. All right, so what do we have? 6 active for Kansas, North Dakota, Ohio, If you're in any of these states, any of these count. Oh, wrong one. Sorry. What do we have? We've got 6. Kansas, North Dakota, Ohio. There you go. All of these counties in those states, and remember, check the weather before you go to bed. You know, they love bringing about a whole lot of destructive weather after midnight. So I do appreciate you showing up, and I hope to see you tomorrow. And stay safe and help those that you know are hurting. And good night. Good luck. Ciao.